We're back to the Neil Haley Show and also the Media Giant Effect. And this topic I love. Anytime I get to talk about topics that I deal with on a regular basis with my agency of 30 plus clients, and I'm dealing with people all the time, I'm like, wow. And I'm going to let you state it because I want to say that basically you have to understand. So our topic today is our guest is Lynn Rowe. Lynn, what is the topic regarding our clients that's really interesting that I guess people make a mistake that they, the whole customer is always right attitude that we're used to that's kind of being changed in society today because of the workforce. What is our topic for today?
The topic for today is the client does not come first. The client isn't always right. So,
wow,
yeah,
that's deep because
and I get a lot of pushback on that too.
Yeah,
people say, "Oh, wait, the client comes first."
Well, who comes first then?
You do. The business comes first, and that's the key, really. What happens is people say, "Oh, I've got all this client work I got to do, and they forget to spend the time they need to spend to run their business, to keep the business going, to keep it, to do the sales calls they need to call. They use it as an excuse. I got too much work to do to make a sales call.
Yeah, and then you never could scale and grow.
Exactly.
Or add a new component to your business. So for example, you could be a service-based business or a coaching business and you want to scale to masterminds. You're not going to be able to do that if you don't go out and do more sales. Exactly. I'm really focusing on my clients and I'm putting extra effort and time into them and they're really on me and we make it an excuse. I remember in so many times where I've talked to clients about this. They say, oh, you know what? I don't have time for sales. I'm just so busy with my current clients. And what should we do in this situation to make sure and identify we're not doing this all the time, that we're allowing the client to run the business versus ourselves?
So here's the thing. People forget that there's a lag time between the time you talk with a prospect and the time they actually become a client. Often that's 2, 3, 4 months. So if you just focus on your current clients and all the work you're doing, and then you say, uh-oh, my sales have gone down, I guess I better do some selling. Well, you're going to be down for several months before you get more clients again to fill your gap. So the only way to keep from doing this up and down thing is to have consistent time spent selling, spent in your business. And it's not just the selling, that's a really critical piece, but there's all the other parts of your business that you need to focus on as well. And if you don't, then the business doesn't exist. You run yourself out of business and then you can't serve the client anyway. So really you have to focus on your business first. Now, having said that, there is the point that part of what you do is serve your clients with excellence, right? But that's just a piece. And that's what you have to keep in mind.
Some people put 75%, 80% into the workload and make sales 20%. How much time do you think you should spend if you're looking and breaking down your business? Just take 2 areas. We'll forget the other ones because there's other things we all know. How much time should we spend in sales versus serving our clients?
That is a really good question. It does depend on your business and then your stage of business. So if you're new in business, if this is a new business to you, 80 to 90% of your time is sales. Brand new business, that's where you need to be because you got to bring in enough business to survive, right?
In the early morning. You're right. That is true. 80, 90% for sure.
Exactly.
What about if you have a business that has lots of clients and, my agency's growing, we're doing really well, but I want to scale and I want to try new things. How much time should I spend in sales?
20 to 30%. Okay. Depending on your business. I mean, you've got to get to the point where you're pretty full of clients and then cut back to 20 to 30%. 20
to 30% will equal, like, I sometimes focus on one day of prospecting on a Thursday where I'm having interviews with people, bring them on my show to talk to them in specific things or things like that. It makes complete sense that it's 20 to 30%. But for what mistake, let's talk about the ones that are just trying to get clients. They don't want to spend 80 to 90%.
Oh, no, they don't.
Because it's work. It's hard.
It is work.
It's not easy. Sales is not easy. It can be if you create a system, you have the ideal clients that you figured out, which takes so much time. And I see where this is where the bulk of your business is. They want to talk about marketing. They want to talk about podcasting, want to talk about their website when we're talking in the phase that they need 80 to 90% time in sales. And then they just put off sales. And that means there's no business. I love the answer you said. There's no business then.
There's no business. You literally run yourself out of business. So I had a client, Frank, who he had a terrific business and a very professional guy. He helped turn around businesses, but he didn't want to spend the time prospecting. And consequently, he put himself out of business because he never went and spoke to the prospects.
Here's my point. And this is the biggest thing. It's the biggest theme I'm hearing now. And I'm hearing a theme of all my people I talk to is they want sales to become automated. That they don't understand unless you hire a sales team, and that's when your company's to a certain level, somebody physically, unless it's a product that's a specific product in the $50 to $100 range or $30 range, when you're looking at higher ticket things or services that are monthly reoccurring, you're not going to be able to get somebody to just jump and take a Calendly call with you unless you're really having conversations and you're really prospecting. If people don't want to prospect, should they have a business?
Honestly, it's a whole lot easier to work for somebody else. It seriously is. You've got a guaranteed income. You got a problem, you give it to somebody upstairs. You don't have to worry about making payroll. It's easier to work for somebody else. So if you're going to be the person who is going to own a business, then you've got to make sure that you're spending the time doing the sales.
And give us 3 quick tips, because I do have more time because you're in luck. 3 quick tips right now that people can do to become better at sales and to prospect more. What should they do on a regular basis?
First one is make sure it's a consistent time on your calendar. You know, every day for an hour, or one day a week, the whole day, or 2 mornings a week, or whatever it is, but consistent on your calendar, and it's not something you change. You might have to move it if something comes up, but don't take it off your calendar for that week. I think that's the first tip. Just make sure you do it, right? Mm-hmm. The second thing is remember that that speaking to someone either on the phone, Zoom, or in person is the best way to sell. Do not decide, oh, I'll just send them an email or I'll send them a text message. You're not going to make friends. You're not going to develop the trust that you need to build with your client if that's what you do. Right. So work on it consistently every week, even if you've got crazy business stuff going on, and make sure that it's personal connection that you're making. And finally, I think it's really important to also think about know what you want to ask them, what you want to say to the person. So spend some time in advance before you contact them, thinking about what it is that you can do to help them and what it is that they really need. So ask them first, what do they need? And then if you've got what they need, then tell them how you can help.
All right, fantastic. Lynn, where can people find information on you, learn more about you so that they can get that advice on a regular basis and work with you? Because I'm telling you, you're somebody that's a godsend when you're understanding and looking at things in this manner, because every business owner, coach, entrepreneur, small business, medium-sized, large business goes through this on a regular basis because they don't have a sales plan.
They don't. That's right. You can reach me at LSR Consultants. That stands for Leadership Strategy and Results. So lsrconsultants.com. That's the best way to reach me.
I appreciate it, Lynn. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
You're listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.